Hi, everybody. I'm Vitaly Kubila from Doers, from FK Slot. Enjoy your day. You're listening to the DU Football Show.
The DU Football Show.
Love it.
As we know, noted angler and former professional football player, Vitaly Kubila. I thought that would be a fun one to play tonight. So
yeah.
Nothing's, let's face it, lots of goals, but the league was kind of this weekend.
Yep.
Let's start the show.
Born in the land of Bowie, Maryland. Bred to be a fan of fucking Everton. Punch you in the eye and drink your rye. Sam Houston.
Sam Houston?
Arsenal fans have another Sam. AKA the fucking Gooner Graham. Stump of a lord. Look straight in shorts. Sam Grammy.
Sam Graham.
Fucking United! Fucking United!
Hello and welcome to the DU Football Show, a completely biased recap of the English Premier League and cough buttons as told by two common American schmucks. I am your host, Sam Houston, and across the way from me is the man with the plan, the man that knows multiple Svetlanas, Mr. Samuel Graham. Sammy, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing very well. We can't get too into it on this one, but it was fun to see a younger, shitter version of myself play out in front of me.
Love it. Fucking love it. And the seeing eye of Sauron sees all, much like, the lengthy discussions on cough buttons.
That's right.
We're recording at the DU Public House just outside the nation's capital. You can check us out on all podcast platforms. Please be sure to rate, subscribe, review, and share with a footballing friend. Should you want to chat with us, there is many ways that you can. Mr. Graham, tell the good people how they can get in touch.
Absolutely. It's at DU Football Show on all the social medias and dufootballshow@gmail.com to get in touch via email.
Lovely. And that is how you use a cough button properly.
There you go. Also, if you want to, join Drunkard United FC in the closed Facebook group that we have, which is where all of the hashtag bans happen.
Always some quality shit talking
Always
going on
some
in
good
there.
stuff going on there.
Very quality shit talking.
Much broke the news to me, at least, that Brazzers is trying to sponsor your new stadium.
Titties, baby. Titties are going to pave the way to a title.
I can't wait for those
side of the mares.
For those of you that do not listen to Injury Time, there is a certain sound clip that I think may just replace Zed cars. Mel, what do you think? Is that what Everton's going to walk out to?
It is the moral of the story. What can we say?
I mean, I have jokes that I cannot repeat on this show, but if you'd like me to repeat them, that would be on Injury Time later.
Excellent. Sam and myself both work in the wine and spirit industry and both have a deep, passionate love for all things distilled spirits. So as the red-blooded Americans we are, we've got to have a drink in our hand throughout this show and every single show. Mr. Graham, I noticed I had two of these bottles still sitting in the cabinet there, and I was like, fuck it, we are cracking one of these tonight.
Yes, and probably finishing it.
And we are definitely finishing it because it's only a 3.75.
Well, that's true. Yeah, we will. So it's Doers blended Scotch. They're double aged for ultimate smoothness. It's 21 years old, 4-stage aging, finished in Oloroso sherry casks. Bottling just says small batch. It is 92 proof on this one. If I recall, cost me about $50 for the pint.
No. It was much more than that because cost was a little bit more than that for me when I bought it. It's a little over 100 on the shelf.
Okay. I don't remember that.
It's 21 fucking years old, dude.
Yeah, but it's a pint.
Yeah, it's 21 fucking years old.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. It's delicious. It was delicious. It is delicious. I wish I could inject this straight into my veins. I could. I could probably butt chug it.
It was number 2 on Whiskey Advocate's 2019 list, which was the first list we ever did for Advocate. And both of us resoundingly agreed that this was better than the Dickel bottle and bond.
Yes.
That this was way better than the Dickel. And that this was hands down the best whiskey on that list that year. And I still stand by it. It's fucking phenomenal. Don't judge a book by its cover. Don't just assume because the word Doers is there.
Yep.
Big major companies. It was something I was at a Baltimore Bartenders Guild meeting today, and one of my friends, Brianna, she's with Diageo, was doing a presentation on Crown, right? And it's easy to just kind of sit there and go, oh, yeah, whatever, it's fucking Crown, right? Or Crown Apple or whatever it be. There's a reason why it's popular.
Mm-hmm.
It's fucking good. There's a reason why it's been around forever and hasn't gone anywhere.
It's because it's good.
It's fucking good.
Yeah.
It's good. And that's the case here with this Doers. If you can find it, get yourself a bottle. It's worth it. But you're probably not going to
be able to find that anymore. Yeah.
Yeah. But I love it. So
yeah, it's so good.
Yeah. Fuck yeah. I need another sip.
Just please remember to drink responsibly, everybody.
Lovely. Let's get into it.
I love a Glencairn. Cheers.
You already have a question from the chat that is relevant to your next segment.
Oh, sure. Go for it.
Russ Benson.
HR.
HR would like to know, hey, Sam, Houston, you've lived as a fan of mid-table team. Do you have any advice for them?
Welcome to mediocrity, my good friend. Welcome to mediocrity. The suicide prevention hotline, Russ, is 1-800-Copites or Gobshites. Feel free to give a quick call and see how things are going. And he just very sanctimonious to assume that we're opening with his team. I mean, now, I do have to say, it was the match of the season, and it's early going, hands down the match of the season. It had everything. It had goals, it had drama, it had storyline. It was a little chippy, and I hate that I have to show love to a person in this room, but clearly we are talking about Forest Villa. No, we're not. Arsenal 3, Liverpool 2. Before you begin to do which, by the way, please, you are perfectly entitled to and enjoy the moment. We have talked about the checklist.
Mm-hmm.
This was a big fucking check.
Mm-hmm.
This is all the checks look one way. This one is like the cartoonish thing, the big, huge check. This is the big one.
The history of this game, in the last 6 games we've played them in the league, we actually haven't scored.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why it's a big check. But the way the season's gone, Tottenham are a better team than Liverpool.
Oh, Tottenham
last
are a
week
better team currently.
Last week, even though it's a derby and we have gotten results against Tottenham in the past, within the last couple of years, it is, I think, this season in particular, with the momentum that we had, playing teams that weren't as good as us, obviously, to get to the position we're in, and then losing to United, coming back from an international break on the first game, I think Tottenham's a bigger check mark than this.
Yeah.
However, that being said, this is a big monkey off our back. For sure.
Oh, you can't beat the big teams around you. Well, you just beat 2 of them back to fucking back.
Exactly.
Yes, in your building. Yes, later in the season you got to go play in their building, which is a bigger challenge. Mm-hmm. But you can only do what's in front of you right fucking now. You fucking did it.
Absolutely. And obviously it started brilliantly.
Yeah, early lead right off the jump.
And quick shout out. I got to tell Rob, our boy Rob, how amazing it was to receive text message updates because I was having trouble with Mexican Wi-Fi at the Cancun airport.
Oh, no.
Me and Mexican Wi-Fi don't get along, apparently.
No,
because I was only able to see about 6 minutes of the game before it realized that I wasn't in the country and couldn't watch USA. And then it asked me to do Paramount Plus, which my brother's login information didn't work.
Oh,
because apparently Paramount Plus has the Premier League
in Mexico.
Yeah. So that was rough, and I couldn't use his login information for whatever reason. Still don't know why that is, because as soon as I got off the plane here, I checked it.
Worked.
Loaded right in.
Probably just because you're out of the country, maybe.
No, but it's a subscription-based service.
That's true.
It's a private service.
But also, you might have needed a VPN because, like, Netflix in England is different than Netflix in the United States.
Yeah, I mean, that's true, too. So I don't know. It was just the whole thing was weird.
Right.
The whole thing was strange. But it, so anyway... It was wonderful to see the text coming through, and when he wasn't texting, I was refreshing the Premier League app, and then on the plane, Southwest now offers free live television, like so you connect your phone to Wi-Fi,
right? Of course,
and then free texting.
Oh, nice.
Right, but those are the only things you can do. You can't get on the internet. You can't do anything else unless you pay the fee.
Right,
it's only through their app website thing.
Fuck it, you got live TV.
I watched Everton Manchester United, or most of it at least, and then because it's kind of spotty over the water. As soon as we hit the coast of Florida, it came through spotless. but I was able to see halftime, which allowed me to watch the full highlight package of my game.
Nice.
So it was excellent. I mean, Martinelli straight off the bat, 58 seconds in was great. I thought it was odd. It was great play, but indicative of Liverpool's season so far, it was the midfield that fucked up. And I don't know if it's because people were injured or in and out of the team or whatever it is, but the midfield is not clicking.
No.
They're not winning the ball back high up the pitch, and they're getting like two very experienced players got sucked over to the right side to Bukayo Saka, and he was able to just roll the ball inward to Odegaard, who, I mean, slotted a ball between two defenders, I guess is the right way to say it, but passed the ball to the right of Virgil van Dijk because Trent Alexander-Arnold is not a fucking defender, and that was a half-assed attempt at making a block on that pass from Odegaard. And Martinelli, who cut Alexander-Arnold up the entire fucking game, well, that is until he got yanked at halftime, was able to sweep home pretty easily past his countryman Alisson.
I was about to say that Martinelli, if you're going to fuck somebody over like the way you fucked over Trent Alexander-Arnold, take him out to a nice meal.
Yeah.
He
exactly
worked him, and so badly to the fact that he was substitute by halftime. Another early substitute worth mentioning, not even barely into the second half, Mo Salah comes off because he was fucking ineffective.
It was terrible. One of the
He
funniest
had
memes I saw floating around
nothing.
was Mo Salah asleep on a plane, and the caption was Mo Salah so far this season.
I mean, it was like,
How many times have we seen the superstar of a club, especially forwards, get a fat contract and then play like shit?
yeah, true.
Learn from other people's mistakes.
But here's
Was it Lincoln that said that? Learn from the mistakes of others because you can't live long enough to make them all yourself.
So let's go ahead and chat a little bit about Liverpool.
Was
real
that Lincoln
quick.
that's a real quote. I don't know. I don't remember who said it. I think
Probably
it might have been Abraham
Thomas
Lincoln.
Jefferson.
It was definitely Thomas Jefferson because, me with Alex Jones, I know these things, and I know what our forefathers said about us, and the globalists are coming to get us. Saturday. All right, so let's go ahead and stick with Liverpool for a second, and then we'll go back to Arsenal. Diaz gets injured. It sounds like it's going to be a while.
Yeah. It did
Like
not.
10 weeks is what I'm hearing.
It looked kind of innocuous. It was like Thomas Partey just sort of fell on him, but I don't know if his like stud was still stuck in the ground or what. But when they spun, he did not look in a good way.
No, not at all. And
Because they were kind of holding on to each other and spun, and then Partey landed on top of him. But it was kind of just, it looked fairly innocuous. I mean, I've done that 100 times.
10 weeks means after World Cup.
Yeah.
And right now, you
fucking need him.
You need him big time right now. You really fucking need him big time.
Yeah.
And again, Alexander-Arnold, Salah, both getting subbed out. I hate to say this for them, but next weekend at City, if they want to win the title. Now, I'm not saying they're not capable of being a top 4 side. They're fully capable of it. They'll probably figure things out, and they'll look really good. But we talk about how you can't win the league at the start of the year, but you could certainly lose it. They don't beat City at City tomorrow. Cross them off your fucking list. They ain't winning the fucking title.
Well, their title chances are already gone.
They're not winning the title.
The title chances are already done.
Right.
If they lose against City and Spurs, Chelsea, Arsenal, City don't play for some reason.
No, you have Leeds this weekend, I thought.
I think it got moved because Manchester City's out of town for some reason.
Got it.
I think they're playing in Philadelphia next weekend.
No, Philadelphia is it's the Premier League Live in Philadelphia, butthead. I'm going to it.
No, I know, but somebody was telling me earlier that Manchester City's coming over to play in Philadelphia soon.
No, that whoever that person is a fucking moron. It's Premier League Morning Live in Philadelphia on this weekend.
All right. So anyway, doesn't matter.
I need to know who that person is, by the way, because they're fucking dumb.
If Arsenal, Spurs, City, which they will, they'll beat Liverpool handedly. And Chelsea all win. I put into doubt Liverpool's top 4 hopes. They're already 14 points behind us, 13 behind City. 17 is too far to overcome.
Yeah.
In my opinion, they're not picking up 17 points on us, and you expect us to probably, and most people expect us to finish in second or third.
Yeah,
exactly. But Chelsea,
it's you or Spurs that are going to finish in second and third. It'll be City
I think it'll be Chelsea and City win the title. Mm-hmm. But if we look down, look down the table a bit, Graham Potter, as we'll come on to in the show, rather, Graham Potter looks to have sorted Chelsea out with some of the bold moves he made. Mm-hmm. They played pretty well. Now, granted, it was against Wolves, but they played pretty well. Tottenham aren't playing well, and they're getting results. That's a mark of a good team. If you do like that kind of stuff, I worry for Liverpool's top four hopes in general. And if that happens, that is disastrous for them, especially with the amount of money they like to spend.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, all right. Now back to your
City.
guys.
City have Liverpool. You're right.
Yeah, and
so I don't know what the fuck people are talking about.
Sunday is the Premier League. The fucking Peacock. The whole team's going to be there.
Yeah.
I'm going to it Saturday. Sunday is sold out. You can't even get into it.
You know who it was? Spurs Mark.
He's a fucking.
He was
idiot.
like, "Why is your game against City postponed this weekend?" And I was like, "I don't fucking know."
Yeah. Well, you don't have a game against City this weekend.
Well, exactly. Now I know that. Yeah. I was in Mexico. I didn't care.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know, dude. I'll figure it out.
Yeah, your game from City was supposed to be during the
Queen stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's why it was postponed.
Oh, anyhow.
Yes, I don't know. Anyway, my point is we now have an opportunity to just keep the momentum going.
Yeah. And that's what I was going to get to here. So, you get the early lead. You have 3 different times you retake the lead. You have the lead, which is great. You want to see that. Saka with a brace, including the second goal being a penalty in a high pressure situation. You're like, you gotta fucking love that for the kid because he put it away.
Yes, he did.
And then the other thing too, Sam, I want you to honestly enjoy this because you will have that for you. You're going to have what I talk about for this season. And then you're never going to have it again because reality is going to set in and your fucking supporters are going to go back to being fucking jack-offs. You have a supportive crowd right now.
Oh, yeah.
It went to 1-1. Crowd's still singing. Crowd's still supporting. Crowd's getting you back into it. Like, I think right now, even the worst Arsenal fan in the world, which there are plenty fucking of them who just talk out of their ass and know nothing, is even right now going, gotta support the lads. It's a young team. They need us.
Here's the thing.
Be in their ass. They need us.
In previous seasons, recently especially, when we go on a bad run, we go on a bad run for 3, 4, 5 games. Players get a little petulant. The effort doesn't seem to be there. Saliba's own goals. He immediately bounced back. The players passed him the ball. First thing they did, give it to Saliba, get him a touch.
Yeah.
Calm him back down.
Yeah.
The crowd stayed behind him because we were against a poorer side. And we were on the back of 3 straight wins at that point when he got that own goal, right? So you're just building a culture of togetherness, right? City's fans don't get on their back, mainly because they're not actually City fans. They're mostly corporate trustees that are paid to support City. Anyway, #bans. You go to these games to be entertained, and we're being entertaining. You want to see the people that are on the field care about the club and care about the cause as much as you do in the stands that you're spending your life savings on year in and year out, and they're out there earning millions and millions of dollars to play a game. I agree with their pay structure. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that. They make plenty of fucking sacrifices to earn that money.
But you're making the point of the people there that are spending that kind of money. That is a good chunk of change to people that are spending season tickets.
They don't have millions of pounds to
precisely
to do that. Some people are worried about doing the $5 Peacock subscription in this country even, Right, exactly. And I want to see the people on the field care, and they care.
Yeah.
They're upset when they fuck up. They're upset when they misplace a pass. They work hard to win the ball back when they lose it. It's good to see. They're together as a team again. I mean, look at Xhaka coming back, after the shit that he went through, yelling fuck off to all the fans at the Emirates, 2 games back after COVID.
Yep.
Like when they were all on his shit list.
And what was happening in this match, there was a substitute, the fucking armband's going on his arm again. He's a captain again.
Yep.
Like, should mean something.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And you can tell it means something. You can tell it's
what if there was a criticism I'd have of Arsenal in this game, it was that after that first goal they did retreat into themselves a bit again. of
Right.
shit, we did it. Let's hold
Right.
on to it.
Right.
Where I think if they stayed on the front foot while Trent Alexander-Arnold was still in the field after getting burned so badly, if they stayed on the front foot, I think they could have been 3-4 up at halftime.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
But they retreated in themselves a bit and tried to hold on to what they had, and that invited Liverpool forward. And they're having a shitty season. Liverpool are not shit.
They're
They're still an incredible team.
You see that because they essentially had 4 opportunities. They scored on 2 of them.
Right. And
Like, they're fully capable of putting the ball in the back of the fucking net.
Darwin Nunez managed to not headbutt somebody for 34 minutes, so
How
he
about
was
that?
able to get, he was on the pitch to get on the end of a cross. Good for him. He did the crying or you can't see me or some shit. Well, you know, you should be crying because you lost the game, and we can see you.
Yeah.
You suck. But then Martinelli rips Alexander-Arnold again, cuts inside, rolls a brilliant ball across the center of the box for Saka to get his first goal. Was excellent.
Yep.
And just Arsenal's ability to bounce back this season after the United game. Again, just as in a whole, right? We were on the front foot most of that game. We got counterattacked twice. Again, I made the point at the time, I think we were trying too hard. You know, we put ourselves out of position, if you see what I'm getting at. Now, but the following game from that, we went out and won. Comfortable performance. So these setbacks aren't proper setbacks like they were in years past, where we'd go on a 3-4 game streak. Now we're bouncing back. We're keeping everybody involved, and that includes the fans.
Yeah. Yeah.
That includes the fans, and we're being more positive, playing more positive football. We're doing more things. We've got rid of the big egos at the club, you know, and everybody's contributing in their own way, whether or not they're scoring. Look at Olivier Giroud at the World Cup, right, a couple years ago for France. Should have been the most celebrated player at the World Cup, and largely was celebrated tremendously. Didn't score a fucking goal. It was his work rate. It was his passion. It was how much he cared. And he was still involved. He brought other people into the play, had a couple of key assists.
In that, Mbappe and Griezmann were able to do what they did, which was dominate the World Cup
Because of Giroud's presence.
Giroud took care of all the dirty work.
Exactly.
Now,
so you're seeing that from Martinelli. He's got 4 goals and 2 assists in 9 games. For a forward, not a super fantastic return, but pretty damn good, right? But the amount of times he drags players out of position. He has how many hockey assists this season? Because he commands 2 people to come out to him. That leaves Odegaard open. That leaves Zinchenko open, or Tierney, or Partey, or whoever. Leaves them open to receive the ball and create.
Yep.
You know, so his presence is. Saka has been criticized a little bit for his goal return this season, but he leads the team in assists.
Yeah.
So it's like,
I mean, the debate would be is you guys are scoring. The pushback would be you guys are scoring plenty of goals and everyone's scoring them.
yeah,
So let's not really care. You're winning. You're winning matches, and everybody and the love is being distributed, which then means when a team has to play you, they don't know who they have to fucking mark.
exactly.
Because, I'm going to, you've seen it already where people are like, I'm going to worry about, with City, I'm going to worry about Holland. That's what we're going to do. We're not going to let Holland score. Well,
Mahrez,
yeah.
Foden.
Well, fucking the
United was double hat tricks.
Well, the United, and they spent so much time worrying about them that they didn't pay any attention to fucking Grealish, who was running up and down the fucking sideline on their asses.
Creating, exactly.
And
Yeah.
creating. And eventually the dam broke. Now
we did it right our luck a bit. I'm sure that's the next point you want to make.
No. Well, I wanted to kind of get to here was really, I felt the penalty is a penalty, and VAR got it right, the ref got it right, everything's good there. What the fuck happened with Henderson and Gabriel? Because all I've read is that there's reports that both people had their statements taken, and
So Xhaka, what led to the inquiry from a viewing perspective was Xhaka being irate with Henderson.
yeah.
Not exactly sure what happened, but it was in retaliation for something Henderson said to Gabriel.
Yes.
Supposedly, allegedly, what I've heard around is that there could be potential racial undertones to something he said.
Oh, not cool.
Jordan Henderson, that I've known him to be,
Not that
player and been a consummate professional.
Yeah.
This is
I
one.
mean, I hate Jordan Henderson because he's a co-pipe, but he's never done
anything that
to even think that he would even think of doing that.
So I'm going to reserve kind of comment on it until more shit comes out.
Yeah.
But
Right.
that was essentially what I gathered from it, and what chirps I've heard is that there were potential racial undertones to something or perceived racial undertones to something Jordan Henderson said, and Xhaka stepped in to protect his teammate. And
what a captain should do.
oh, absolutely, 100%.
That's what a captain should do.
100%.
You stand in the way and you yell at the person while your guy goes and gets calmed down.
Correct.
You stand in the way. You
Yeah.
be the asshole.
So, but what I was referring to, and what I said prior to that, was the as Gabrielle said, his chest hit the ball. His chest did not hit the ball. His hand hit the ball. But apparently, I heard this on a show today. The intentional or unintentional, the closeness and proximity, the deliberateness of it, whatever. All of that's kind of irrelevant. It's essentially the handball rule is still referee's discretion. And basically they've been told that closeness and proximity should play a part. So if a defender's there doing something, right, and you can't flick the ball up onto his hand, that's right. That's not a handball.
Sadio Mane against Tottenham in the Champions League final.
The only time,
right?
The only time a referee's discretion is not necessary is if a handball leads to a direct opportunity and a goal is scored off the end of it.
Right.
I.e. Marcus Rashford's, which we'll come on to in your game.
Mm-hmm.
Why it was disallowed was the tackle and then bang, hit his arm, kept it in his path.
Right.
So they disallowed it.
Right.
Gabriel, you could argue that Arsenal, they did gain an advantage, and we should count our lucky stars that this was not a handball.
Mm-hmm.
This is not adjudged to be a handball. But that being said, whoever kicked it, I think it might have been Jordan Henderson. I think that might have been the beginning of the issue. Was quite close to Gabriel, and he was running and stopped like this, and the ball flicked up off his hand. But then he turns around and goes, "It was my chest," and you could see him mouth it and tap his chest, which was very obviously not his chest. So we should count our lucky stars that wasn't adjudged to be a penalty.
Final question, yes or no answer. You starting to believe, Sammy?
I've been believing for 6 weeks.
A few sides off to slow starts start to seem to have gotten it together. Newcastle 5, Brentford 1, Crystal Palace 2, Leeds 1, West Ham 3, West Hand 3, as we've already heard once already, Fulham 1. Newcastle's getting healthy. They're starting to figure each other out. It's all starting to click with what Eddie Howe has done with that club. It's just all starting to work.
In the 5-goal drubbing, was it 4 or 5 that Brentford beat United by earlier this season?
4.
4. Where 3 of the goals were essentially gifted to them.
Mm-hmm.
4 out of the 5 were gifted to Brentford, or were gifted to Newcastle here by Brentford.
Brentford made a lot of mistakes.
What I will
I'm going to get on to Brentford in a second.
What I will warn Bees fans about, and Miss Jane, I apologize if I'm bursting any bubbles. What goes around comes around. So what you did to Manchester United was just done to you. Or what was bestowed upon you by Manchester United, you just bestowed on Newcastle, essentially. Yeah. Bruno Guimaraes' goal was the only goal that Newcastle actually scored.
Right.
Everything else was Brentford fucking up.
Yeah. Oh, a lot of it. And that's
essentially.
Well, that's what I had. Bad day at the office for Brentford.
That being said, you're absolutely right. Newcastle looked together. They're capitalizing on opportunities. Callum Wilson's pass across to Jacob Murphy, who hadn't scored seems like since he was a U9 player at Newcastle. It looked more together and much more of a coherent performance. I loved all the fancy set plays that Newcastle did.
Yep.
That was pretty good. None of them came off, but it was excellent. The header came off.
It makes you think. It as a defense,
it keeps you honest. It keeps you guessing.
And it might not. It might have been intentional because Brentford loves to do that on their corners as well. They love to do some kind of funky plays at times. So it could be, let's do it right back to them since they're the ones who love to do it. Let's see if we can fuck with them.
Yeah, but Eddie Howe looking.
Yeah,
Thomas Frank looks like an artist, so it makes sense.
Fair enough. I think the biggest thing is for Newcastle it's starting to look like a cohesive team and no longer 11 bought players.
Yeah.
Like it's just starting to click. It's starting to just kind of move and work.
Yeah, but it's not 11 bought. A lot of that team was already there. They're just healthy now. Fabian
Right.
Shaw, Ryan Frazier, Jacob Murphy.
Right, but the pieces that they bought are starting to really kind of bed in. Like it's like Trippier was always there, not like he just got bought last
But
season.
what
or
I'm saying
Guimaraes
is Callum Wilson played under Steve Bruce.
yeah,
Trippier did not. Fine.
Guimaraes is new.
Guimaraes is new.
Yeah.
He basically he did play under Brucey, didn't he? Because he was brought in as the first major signing of the Saudi regime, and Bruce had a couple games before he got fired.
Yeah,
But he was the first one brought in, really. Joe Willock played half a season under Steve Bruce, and they made him permanent signing. So, yes, they're all new, but it's. My point is, it's not Nottingham Forest.
Right.
It's not 42 bought players. It's 5 or 6 that were added to an existing decent enough spine because even Steve Bruce kept them up.
Yeah, true.
Moment of silence. He was released by West Brom today.
Boing, boing.
Well done, Mel.
So, you know what that means?
What?
Diego Costa might be managed by Steve Bruce in the next 72 hours.
Oh my God, that would be fucking brilliant. Should the Bees be worried? This is a couple of bad performances in a row. They had the 0-0 with Bournemouth where they really didn't look very inspired. This match was just, a mess. It was a comedy of errors for them. It really was.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. I don't think that'll happen.
Okay, fair
I
enough.
think they'll be fine. They're good enough to hold it together. They're still healthy. They're just had a bad day at the office, and that happens from time to time.
Mm-hmm.
It's just one of those things. And Newcastle, as you look more together.
And for Newcastle, these are the games you need to be winning. If you're aspiring to be playing in Europe, which is, the aspiration is definitely a top 10 finish, maybe even, luck your way into one of those McRib, spots, or if that's the aspiration, this is the game. These are the games you got to win.
100%.
And if you have an opportunity to beat the crap out of them and have a goal differential, you do it.
Do it.
And they did.
But this is where, last season, just as an example, Callum Wilson takes that shot, probably scores. But there's always the opportunity on his weaker foot, hit the outside of the post. Goalkeeper saves it. You misfire and shank it. Blaze it over the top. This time he kept his cool, rolled it across to his midfield support, who had the easiest goal of his career.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it is only the second one.
So Palace and Leeds. I was thinking after watching the first half, I was already kind of had in my head I was going to do a section of teams starting to turn it around, and I'm sitting there going, Leeds looks like they're starting to turn it around. And then Vieira strikes the fear of God into the Palace players like he's prone to do, probably skull-fucked a player or two at halftime. And then Palace comes out, completely dominates, and then makes me completely change my narrative to, look, Palace is turning it around. Yeah. But legitimately, you could see from watching that game how one's opinion would change legitimately over just a half.
Yeah, but it was a game of two halves, really, because Leeds were pretty in control in the first half, and then Palace, as you say, turned it on. I think that's, Jesse Marsh they both managed in New York together in the New York Derby.
Yes.
Obviously. Well, the New York, New Jersey Derby.
Right.
Technically.
Yes.
Where Red Bull
is.
Oof. Sorry if that hit anybody. But it ebbed and flowed. In every statistical category, pretty much, they were pretty nailed on even for the most part. These two teams. I think they're teams in similar positions at the moment. However, Palace are more resolute defensively. They're more organized, and that comes from Patrick Vieira and every team he's ever played for or coached. Where Jesse Marsh has tried to be a bit more expansive and Bielsa-esque with more structure, and it still leaves holes.
My one problem with Leeds currently. They got to take advantage of their opportunities when they fucking get them, and they really don't. They really need to take advantage of their opportunities when they get them. And
Patrick Bamford especially had a bad miss in this game.
That should have been 2 or 3-0 at halftime. That should have been done and dusted and put to fucking bed.
But Patrick Bamford's played 3 times in 18 months?
Yeah. Oh, I mean,
it's not.
Yeah, of course, but it just looking at the greater whole, right? If you're looking at what are you trying to accomplish as a club, like, gotta fucking make those fucking count, man. Gotta make those count. And because you didn't make them count and you were in somebody else's bit, you got bit in the fucking ass,
For sure.
But for Palace, let's face it, it's been a tough start to the season. Now they've had to play a lot of really good teams
already, yeah.
So I think we're going to start to see them naturally
we'll see them creep up the table because they're going to start playing teams that they're right around or better than.
And I also think they've reached the point where yes, it hurts to not have Conor Gallagher there anymore, but Eze is right back into the flow of things and exactly the stud player that he was when he came over from QPR the first year he was there.
Well, it was a fantastic goal.
Yeah, hasn't skipped a beat.
Tidy little 1-2 with Zaha, and then just that little hesitation, that little drop of the shoulder, froze the Leeds defender, and with the outside of his right foot, just that wee touch bought him that half yard.
Mm-hmm.
In that little hesitation, he had enough time to get that strike away and the confidence to do it, and he rooted Meslier to the spot. I think Meslier will be one of the best goalkeepers in the world in 5 years.
Once he gets a little smarter,
once he gets a little more mature, a little smarter, a little bit more about him.
Do you think he's going to be?
He's an excellent shot stopper.
Do you think he's going to be Laureus's number 2 at the World Cup?
Might be a little too early.
Yeah.
Might be a little too early for that. But I think he's eventually France's number 1.
Yeah, I do agree.
He's an excellent shot stopper.
Talent in the world. He's just
he's 22
young.
Or some shit.
Yeah, he was 21 that first year with Bielsa, so probably 22,
23. Yeah.
Still, for goalkeeper, that's fucking.
He shouldn't even be in the first team.
That's a 5-year-old goalkeeper years. Like
exactly
you are young.
Well, the other thing, and actually, it brings real quickly back to Arsenal Liverpool as well. Liverpool, when they were dominating and started this era of Klopp and when they won the league, just a couple years in, they had the 3rd youngest team in the Premier League. We've talked about this with Palace. They've lowered their age profile all over the field, right? Yeah. Liverpool now have the 3rd oldest team in the Premier League.
There you go. Yeah.
And you see how that midfield operates. That's trouble. You see the verve and enthusiasm with which Arsenal's midfield, Palace's midfield, even Leeds' midfield, to be honest, have been operating with. It's because they're young and exciting and hungry and want to do it. Yes, they're prone to mistakes because they're young. But with this experience, Arsenal's project, right, is now 2 years in. These players that had growing pains last year are now experienced enough to deal with those situations in games. Palace's last year was tough. There were some mistakes. There were some ups and downs. This year, they've seemed to started to deal with it. The midfield is where they look the best as a team, right? Leeds, last season, barely survived. They're starting to figure it out. They weren't out of this game by any means. They had chances. Guaita made some good saves. Leeds have started to figure out their midfield, and those young players now have some experience about them and can provide a platform for them to move forward.
Aronson's really providing a lot. He's not getting the goals that Rafinha would get out there on that outside, but he brings a lot of attention,
energy.
To him.
Yep.
People got to pay attention to him,
and he's a lot harder than I thought he was.
Yeah,
he's taken some shots this season, and he's gotten right the fuck up and kept going.
Yeah.
I'm really proud of him.
All right, finally, the last match of this segment. Pereira, fucking gorgeous goal. And then
the dumbest thing in the world.
Right. Now, I would like to take a moment and... Oh, referee, you are so brave and so strong. In a complicated world, I'm so proud of you for making that truly tough call that happens all the fucking time, and you all never fucking call.
Yeah,
it's because he warned them. It's
exactly right. That's exactly what I was going to say.
That should have nothing to do with it.
No.
How about? I mean, United fucking JB and I were talking about it in the closed group. United fucking Everton. Shaw has a hold of Unana's jersey that it's completely turned around on him, and you can see the Everton crest on his back. Does that get called? Fuck no. Why? Because they never fucking call it.
They never call that shit. I will have to press you to please use his God-given name. Onana, what's my name?
What's my name?
Please.
Heard. But
it's so stupid, and I'm sticking to it.
Yeah, it's you know what? You're good, man. I'll let you stay with it, brother.
I love it.
But it just, okay, yes, it was a foul. Yes, you warned him. Yes, you got to be smarter not to put that decision in the referee's hand. But in the same regard, like,
well,
you call it. Like,
it's just
now you call it.
It smacks of referee ego.
Yeah.
Well, that kind of stuff happens. I'm going to let it go. But hey, this time I fucking told you about it. So now I got to protect what I said.
Now,
but next week, I guarantee you that happens in a game and that referee doesn't call it.
Right.
Guaranteed.
Now, I will say for West Ham, they got lucky. They got lucky, but they also got to put the chances away, right? Which they did. If I was Marco Silva, and he only got a yellow, and I think the only reason why he got a yellow is because the refs knew they fucked up. Because that was a handball by Samaka. It's not even up for debate. He literally
punched
takes
it down to his hand.
He literally
his foot.
takes his elbow and pushes it down to his foot.
Yeah.
Puts his elbow out and moves it down. Like, it's clear as day. But you choose not to call that. And then you have the iffy, yes, it's a penalty, but nobody ever fucking calls it penalty at the other end of the pitch. I'm surprised Marco didn't strike someone.
Yeah, right.
I mean, I know you and I as coaches, and I tend to be very calm for the most part as a coach, but that kind of knick-knacky shit where you cost my team a game because of consistently unfair calls, you're
getting an earful, and I'm getting suspended. Yeah.
Right. I'm getting a red for that one. And I have gotten reds for those because at that point it's just like, it's personal. You, Mr. Referee, are calling a game to directly impact our outcome. You are doing it purposely. Do not convince me otherwise, because I know you're doing it purposely.
You can't convince me otherwise.
Right, you can't convince me otherwise.
Well, what I will say about the Skamaka one, you're talking about where he brushed the ball to keep it within him and then finished like it was the end of fucking Milan Fashion Week.
Right.
Because it was sexy as shit, and it was, dare I say, the Armani suit of finishes.
Yeah.
I ran out of Italian puns there. But it was great. But Jared Bowen, great penalty to open the scoring there, and good for him. He needs it. That's now 2 in 2 games for him, so well done. And he seems to be kind of back on the mark after being left out of the England squad, after previously being involved in the England squad. Looks like he's trying to press on for a place in the team. I don't think he'll get one for the World Cup, though, which would be a shame because I think he's a quality player.
Yeah. I think he deserves a spot on the bench. I think he offers something for certain.
Yeah, but if you're going to do that, why wouldn't you put in James Maddison, who can play that position, who can also play number 10?
You're right. And
you know what I mean?
And also, it would be Maddison.
If it was between the two in my book, it'd be Maddison, because I think your front three, really, Grealish, out of this many players, you have Grealish, you have Foden, you have Mason Mount, and Raheem Sterling that can all play those positions, and you have Harry Kane up top. I think only one of, and we've talked about James Ward-Prowse, who can play out there as well, but James Ward-Prowse, free kick specialist, that's it. Maddison does more than free kick specialist, but he also is one.
Right. Yeah.
Bowen doesn't take free kicks, really, but he works a little bit harder than James Maddison does. So it's tough, but I think Maddison would be the better take for England in that, and I feel like Jared Bowen's going to be terribly unlucky.
And then even Antonio's goal, he messed up the first chance, save gets made by Leno. And if it wasn't for him and Tim Ream kind of getting tangled up in each other, he probably doesn't score it.
But that's also him. He shouldn't even have been chasing that ball by conventional standards. You know what I mean? But Antonio, Mikel Antonio has made a career now and is West Ham's all-time Premier League goal scorer by chasing lost causes and just being a bully and a brute and then finding the space to finish. And that's exactly what he did. I mean, he shouldn't even have been in the position to do it, but he made them uncomfortable and he made them fuck up. and he got the opportunity because of it.
So for West Ham, and I want to kind of touch on both
Take that,
teams.
Smokey.
I want to touch on both teams and kind of keep it rolling. So for West Ham, you got a couple of wins in a row. You're starting to move up the table, which is exactly what you needed. And then plus that with Europe, with the McRib Cup, they're all but through.
Right. Yep.
So now you don't have to focus on that as
Exactly.
much. You can let some kids play. You can go out there, just get results, grind out draws. Doesn't matter, right? Because you're getting through, right? For Fulham, this was a bit of a bullshit game. You can't let that get to you. You just got to go, all right, fucking soccer gods weren't with us today. We need to just move on and just be done with it. And realize that you got hard done, because you did. You got hard done. That was a game of luck, and all the luck went the way of West Ham, not for you. That's definitely the case.
That's kind of how it goes sometimes. It's the way to cook and crumble. I just quickly want to check in with Mel. Jay was very enthusiastic in talking to us before we actually started. Has he said anything since we started talking about West Ham United?
No, not at all. But your mom says hi.
Oh, hey, Ma.
And Tim Olsen said that if he was in a Man U, Liverpool, and Man City jersey, that brave referee wouldn't have called it.
Oh, God, yeah. No way. No way in hell.
No, but this is my point.
Yeah.
He only said it's his ego, in my opinion.
Yeah,
because
I'd
he
agree.
only called it because he said something to him twice.
Yeah.
That's
I
the
very
reason.
much agree with that. I would very much agree with it, because
That wouldn't have gotten called in Newcastle Brentford. I'm sure it happened in that game.
Yeah. Oh, I guarantee you it happened in every game.
Because it always fucking happens.
Again, Luke Shaw had what's my name? the Everton crest that is on his left over his heart was on his right back shoulder blade.
Exactly.
And it was clear for the world to see.
Now, that being said, though, also, quickly, he did kind of Robbie Savage rugby tackle him.
Yeah, he did.
I mean, the shoulder was in his kind of breastbone.
We've learned that referees are delicate flowers.
From Mike Dean.
They're very special boys, and that we need to be supportive of them, and don't give them a choice to fucking make. Rounding out the rest of the league, and so that happened. Bournemouth 2, Leicester 1, Chelsea 3, Wolves 0, Man City 4, Southampton 0, Tottenham 1, Brighton 0, Man U 2, Everton 1, Aston Villa 1, Nottingham Forest 1. Foxes give up a lead again.
I'm going to tell you what's on my bet of the week slip now, quickly, because this is really all I have to say about the game. Sorry, Lars, Danny Ward has the softest hands in the game.
Yeah. Oh.
Sorry, Lars. If they have a better goalkeeper, they don't lose this game. Danny Ward is a piece of shit.
By the way, I would appreciate if you called him by his Christian name, Doug Ward. If you listen to our Patreon show, you now know that.
Did I call him Doug?
No, I was calling him Doug too.
Oh.
We determined his name was. And we determined.
I remember
his name
doing
was
that
Doug.
now. Yeah. All
We
right.
determined his name was Doug.
That
So
should
from
also
now
be
on-
trademarked from the 90s cartoon Doug.
Yeah, Doug gonna
Just make
Doug,
sure
man.
we give them credit
Doug gonna fucking Doug.
so we don't get sued.
Cherry's unbeaten in 5, man.
Yeah, they're playing well.
You know that this is what you need to do. Keep up with it. They're finding goals from everyone. They're being very resolute. It's been a little bit of an easier part of the schedule for them
But that's how you stay in the league.
Right. So take advantage of what you got.
What gets me about it? Sure, Philip Billings' goal. It was kind of trailing away from him, it had a bit of power to it. But that close range, it couldn't have trailed away from him that much. I think he should have made that save. He got a hand to it.
Right.
You should push that around the post. My opinion. You should be able to tip that over the bar. You should be able to do something with it.
I need him.
And he
in the
didn't
net.
do it.
I need him in the net in November in Qatar. Okay. Thank you very much. So let's just keep you doing a great job, Doug. Keep it up, buddy.
But the second one. Did you see that wee jump he did?
Mm-hmm.
What was that?
I don't know.
The right leg went up out of the way of everything. It was like a ballet jump. They like jump across the stage got their legs doing weird shit. That's what it looked like. How are you making yourself bigger by I don't understand what he's doing.
I gotta say, Mel, I'm very, very, very impressed and intrigued by the fact that Sam Graham's mortal enemy has become a goalkeeper. Like, he could never give a shit about goalies his entire life, and now he is obsessed with this one.
Sad part is, it's my fantasy goalie.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I mean, but he's the worst goalkeeper I've seen since you.
No shit.
No,
it's not who I drafted. I drafted Casper Schmeichel.
Hey, that's right. No, obviously I'm fucking with you, but
of course.
he's pitiful. You would do a better job in goal for Leicester City than he does, right?
We've
currently.
Yeah, we've talked
now,
about that already.
and you could probably wear the same uniform he has on.
We talked about
because
that.
it's too fucking big. He sucks. The other draw I got from this game, the other thing that I took away is I never noticed it before. What's going on with Dominic Solanke's beard?
I'm not sure.
Is that intentional or is it just that splotchy?
I think it's just that splotchy.
Shave it.
Yeah.
Shave it. Looks strange.
He's a big boy. He's a big boy now. So he's trying to be a man.
Trying to be a man.
Down the
Well,
South
just
Coast.
go with the goat.
Yeah.
Go with the goatee.
Go with the goat. It's not hard.
I don't know. It's weird. It's like mutton chops, but on his cheek.
Yeah.
It's strange.
Yeah.
It makes me uncomfortable.
Pulisic playing, scoring, getting an assist.
That's
getting
the
it
end
done.
of that analysis.
Yes, it is. Gotta keep the train moving, man.
Yeah.
That's why I drive the bus, buddy. Trained professional.
Probably the best transition in radio history. I'll tell you that. Yeah, Pulisic with a great goal, actually.
Yep.
A lot of changes. So bringing Koulibaly back into the team after dropping him last week, which I thought was strange to begin with. I thought he didn't fancy him anymore. Apparently, just sent him a message, and he came back out and played pretty well. Granted, he was playing against 642-year-old Diego Costa, star of the Mummy franchise. Diego Costa.
Oh my God, Graham.
I mean, he played the Mummy, not Brendan Fraser's character.
No. Just realize this. When Wolves play United, it'll be the Mummy versus the Walking Dead.
Yes. Thank you.
Oh,
Difference
I
is
love
one of them has 700 fucking goals.
Yeah. Well, no, we're talking about Ericsson.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Ronaldo's career. Sorry. Hey. Mel, where's my hi-hat?
Well done, Mel. It's okay. Chelsea look good. That's good. You look good against Wolves. You look good against possibly the worst. I mean, Wolves look worse than Forest right now. Wolves look worse than Leicester right now.
That's a stretch. Although Forest have at least scored a couple of goals here and there.
Yeah, it's just. I really fear for Wolves, man. I'm really starting to fear for Wolves.
So am I. It's not good. They chose the manager over their club captain and then fired their manager. Now they don't have the club captain anymore. So who's there to lead?
And
who's there to keep them together in this time of strife?
Sell Gibbs White, granted, Forrest isn't in a very good way either, but he's the bright spot on the Forest side right now.
Well, I mean, for them, Neves and Matinho, he was never going to displace them.
Yeah, but
under another Portuguese manager.
But it's not working, Yeah,
it's not right. It's not working now. No, exactly. But Wolves are in such a weird place. I don't know what to do with them.
You get rid of Dendoncker and send them to Villa. Granted, Dendonker's not like a game changer, but he's a good piece off the bench. It was like. So you look at players.
He was steady Eddie too.
Yeah,
when he did start, he didn't really put a foot wrong, but he never did anything spectacular. Scored a goal here or there, but nothing fantastic. You
right.
know what I mean?
Like I said, I just feel like it's you let multiple players go that you probably could have really you could have probably held on to and probably could have helped you right now. It just a little off as a whole, and just
it's very disjointed from their ownership. That's for sure.
City keep rolling, man. They just keep fucking rolling. They're doing what they do, man. This team's a fucking juggernaut.
Yeah, there really isn't much else to say about it, to be honest. Foden's goal was ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
And Mahrez had a pretty good volley. But Southampton didn't really have a sniff. The only thing that saves Ralph's job is that it was under 5.
Yeah.
I think, honestly, because if it was 9, he's definitely gone. Kenny.
Yeah.
Okay, tell you that.
I have written like Ralph's got to be gone. It's got to happen soon. I mean, if you want any chance of salvaging this season, you're gonna probably have to make that change.
With the profile Southampton are over the last few years, I think Steve Bruce getting sacked today saves Hasenhutl's job for at least 3 months.
Okay.
Because you got to smell Neil Warnock, Steve Bruce. Mm-hmm. Who else is going to Southampton at the moment?
Big Sam Allardyce.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
That's the profile we're talking about at the moment. So Hasenhüttl will be safe for the next couple of months because those are the only people available.
Yeah, that's all that's there. I think it's very important to also recognize the time of stress and strife that we went through. That 65-minute goal scoring drought for Erling Haaland was testing and trying and stressful time on us all.
I was worried about it. 20 goals in all competitions, and this game took place on October 8th. What? And that was his 15th Premier League goal?
Mm-hmm.
Which means he has 5 and 3 in the Champions League.
He could fuck with Dixie's number. There's a lot of season, got to stay healthy. The World Cup could fuck up a lot of things. But if this guy keeps doing what he's doing, Dixie's 60 could be God. Like,
he's on pace to score 63, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. Like,
this is insane. We could very well be witnessing history as much as I don't like it.
And he's 22 years fucking old.
And think about it. Newcastle United, all the way back in September, will have handed Arsenal the title. And nobody will remember this goal-scoring record. It'll be the greatest achievement that no one's ever heard of.
Fucking love it.
We might only score 60 goals as a team. Mm-hmm. In general. What?
I've got the pro Arsenal agenda up on the screen.
I've got it on my motherfucking t-shirt, which you could find at the DU Drip Shack, by the way. Link in our bio on all social medias.
Very good. Look at you, you whore.
Thanks. Do you have whore up right now?
No, now I have the DU Drip Shack link in the bio up on the screen.
Mash the subscribe button, or whatever they say.
You fucking...
Merch available in the link below.
Both you fucking whores. Pimps and whores. Pimps and whores.
Just trying to keep the lights on, Sam. That's it.
You didn't mind when I came home with all that cash Saturday night.
Wait.
Dollar bills.
It's Lewis Black, the buying and selling, pimps and whores. Pimps and whores.
That's right.
Tottenham bounced back in a big way after.
Big way?
Well, I mean, it's a win. You go away to a building that's tough to play in because Brighton plays Big Six clubs very tough
well at their place. You're right.
Very well in their place. And you find a way to get a win.
To be fair to them, they did again.
Yeah. And they absolutely did. You find a way to get a win. You bounce back from what was a bad loss, a very bad loss to Arsenal. And unlike other Tottenham sides, like under Jose, this would be a 3-game losing streak.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're absolutely right about that.
Like well, I mean, they're afraid for their lives because Conte will actually murder them.
I prefer to kill him.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
no, he will murder people. So, but they get it back together. They get the 3 points and a little bit of sad news today for Brighton.
Yeah, this is not something you want to hear, but I am happy that they caught it. I'm sure, as devastating as the news is, he's happy they caught it. While on international duty with Zambia, sorry.
Yeah, Zambia.
He was ill. We're talking obviously about, is it Enoch?
Enoch Mbwepu.
Who
they brought on last season and was kind of
scored. Was it us or you? I remember getting a lot of attention because it was against one of our two clubs, but scored an absolute banger.
Yeah, it was kind of to be the heir apparent to Bissouma.
And he was
a little. I think the Ecuadorian Cancedo has been probably a little bit more vital in that role, but I also think Mbwepu hasn't been playing a ton. He's been getting starts, but not a ton of starts. I've been kind of wondering, was there hints towards his health that were leading up to this.
Well,
as
it could be, but while away with Zambia, he was ill, didn't feature in either of their games, but their doctor, I guess, checked him out kind of fully while he was with the squad, and they found a hereditary heart condition that is verified by Brighton and their doctors now, and it's he is being forced to retire at the ripe old age of 24.
Yep, that's it. Career's done.
Very, very sad for him, but we all remember Fabrice Muamba. We all remember Christian Eriksen in more recently in the Euros. We all remember Sheikh Tiote, the old player for Newcastle that passed away during training. And Brighton in their statement did say that if this went unchecked or unfound, that it potentially, under strenuous activity such as a Premier League game, could result in a fatality.
Yeah.
It's that serious of a heart condition, and but they caught it. So at 24 years old, he's being forced to retire from the game that he loves. Hopefully, Brighton will help, and the Premier League will help him if he wants to stay in the in and around the game in some capacity. You know, maybe helping him, you know, get his coaching badges or some sort of punditry work or what have you, or club ambassador somehow. Or whatever.
Figure out a way to make sure the man still gets paid. Take care of him.
Exactly. Hopefully he's able to still stay in and around the game and feel a part of the game. But he, you know, it's obviously devastating news, but I'm sure he'd rather live than not.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, I know I would. It would be devastating to hear, but I'd rather be alive. So, sure. Great. I won't play anymore.
Yeah. So one last thought.
Fucking, it just sucks, man. You hate hearing it.
One last thought on this game, and let's move on to the last two. Get her all done here. Brighton, despite losing, I think Brighton is proving they're here for that Europe spot. I think they're in the mix. I think every year there's a team, be it Leicester, be it West Ham, Southampton's done it before, where there's just that. Wolves have done it. Like, here's the team that's going to be the monkey wrench. Here's the team that's going to be somewhere
going to
between
screw something up for somebody.
4th and 7th the entire way.
Yeah.
Just always going to be there.
I can tend to agree with that.
And even with the coaching change, even with the personnel, I just, unless there's some major injuries and a real huge slip up, I see this team being that team, man. I think they're right there, man.
Oh, all right. So they have a new, this is a weird shoehorn. Bear with me. They just hired a new manager. Southampton may lose a new manager. May lose a manager. Part of that is also Sean Dyche is also available. He's part of that profile also.
Right.
Speaking of Sean Dyche, you say, looky likey. Graham Potter, which I forgot to mention during the Chelsea segment, kind of looks a little like Roman Abramovich.
Oh, looky likey Roman Abramovich. Yeah, I'm okay with that. Yeah, I'm good with that comparison.
And getting old Roman back around the club seems to have boosted their fortunes. And yes, that pun was absolutely fucking intentional. Boosted their fortunes.
Everton come out swinging, get a goal early. Great strike by Iwobi.
He had a weird game.
Yeah, he did.
He had a very weird game.
Yeah. We'll get to obviously Ronaldo and all that. I would say, just as an Everton supporter, it was an erratic game from the start. You could kind of tell Everton wasn't going to be up for it that day. It just kind of felt like that the whole time. This is a team that's still growing, and while they're still a bit of a shit show right now, Manchester United is still one of the 6 best fucking clubs. They're one of the top 6. That's who they are. And this is the kind of game as you're going to lose, but you're going to learn a lot from this loss. And I'm not really all that particularly broken up or upset about it. Like, I know some other Everton supporters are kind of like real upset about the game as a whole. And I'm kind of like, you know, we had chances down the stretch. I'm really not all that busted up about it, but let's talk about Mr. Ronaldo, Mr. Graham.
700 goals.
Yep.
700 professional goals. Well done.
So you were jokingly saying, well, not even jokingly, you were saying to me earlier on when we were writing up the show, it was talking about, you know, teams on the rise, right? Getting it back together. And you were like, well, put Manchester United in the second segment. I'm like, yeah, but Sam, it's supposed to be like, you know, clubs that aren't expected to be at the top, working their way to the top. Not someone who is in dead last that should be vying for Champions League, suddenly getting it together.
Yeah, but I would argue over the last 3 seasons and that snippet of their history, they are turning a corner.
Her turning a corner.
They've dropped Harry Maguire. They've gotten 4 new managers in. They've spent £1.2 billion. They finally seem to have figured it out.
Starting Casemiro was a huge difference for them.
It's also a huge mistake because it cost the first goal.
Yeah, but
then he also played the pass for Ronaldo.
He
had a weird game.
Yeah.
Iwobi had a weird game. It was like the whole midfield was both the best players on the field and the worst players on the field at the same time.
Ghana made a big mistake, lost the ball for the first goal. Like it was a weird, odd match. De Gea did what De Gea always does when he plays us. Right at the death, makes this like ungodly save
And
where you're
that
like,
was one of the best pause from El Gato I've ever seen. I mean, I think the ball was goal bound anyway.
Right.
From Gordon. Or not Gordon. What's his name?
It was McNeil who hit that one.
No. The young kid y'all bought from United.
Garner.
Garner. I just started with a G and I said Gordon. I knew it was wrong. From James Garner. I think that was going in the far corner anyway. What?
James Garner, the actor.
Yeah.
Is that his name, right? James Garner?
James Garner.
Yeah.
All right, just making sure.
Yeah, this not the actor. This is a 21-year-old right back prospect / defensive midfielder.
Central midfielder.
I think he came on for Seamus Coleman, didn't he?
No.
Oh, yeah, he did. And then they moved Iwobi back to wing back.
Right.
That's right. I'm sorry. Anyway, doesn't matter. Not the point. I think that ball was going in. Regardless. Onana, what's my name, had a free header and could have easily glanced it in. De Gea off his line quickly, dives out in front of Onana, what's my name, and said, "Don't forget my name, motherfucker."
Yeah,
and knocked it away wide.
Topped it right over.
In a stretch for Everton that included, 5 corners?
Yeah.
Jordan Pickford almost getting on the end of one as well because he went in to get the fucking rave on.
I was like, can we talk when we get to the end? I have thoughts.
All right. No, Mel, go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and do my shot of Malort. It's, you know what? It's been a while since any of us have done a shot of Malort. It's been a few weeks, man. Been a few weeks.
We've been playing pretty fucking well.
I'll take pictures while I'm talking.
Yep. So
that was so much fun. The
Cheers,
last
everybody.
2 minutes of that match. Pickford and the announcer, Jordan, looking for the nod. He's like, "Come on, can I run on offense?" And then he almost scored.
Oh,
Would
I
have been
don't miss you.
amazing. Then he got a second shot at it, and just what a fairy tale that would have been if Pickford had gotten a score in those last. He has done that before, though, hasn't he?
Pickford hasn't scored. It was Allison for
Okay.
Liverpool who did that.
God,
Different keeper on Merseyside.
I was cheering
Much
for
longer
Pickford
arms.
to score.
Goalkeepers fucking doesn't normally happen at the Brazzers Stadium,
Oh God, it's fucking.
formerly known as Goodison Park.
That was so much entertainment and drama in those last 2 minutes.
It's hitting me fucking different today, man. It's
Oh,
like
poor baby.
I just thought of something
It's
funny.
in my cheekbones. It's like seeping into my skin.
I want it to be now referred to as the Goody Stepson Park, sponsored by Brazzers.
Yeah, that was Taylor's joke. He was like, "It's like step gaffer, what are you doing?"
Yeah. Oh, that's so brilliant.
brilliant.
Good Pussy
Wow.
Park.
I mean, at least even if Everton loses, you'll know there'll be a happy ending.
Oh, thank you. The final match was today. Chippy.
Oh my
Chippy.
Ramsey was an emotional player today.
Yeah,
and
Jalen Ramsey was
pretty much lucky he didn't get a red card.
very much would agree with that. Would very, very much agree with that.
Very physical.
Are we talking now about the two of England's previous European Cup winners?
Yes, and
Aston Villa and Forest?
Yeah, it was the game that we were supposed to lead the show off with. Right?
Oh, that's right. I forgot. Sorry I stole your thunder, Mel.
Good goal
I
goal
can't
from.
be happy with a draw on this one. We should have scored. It's kind of sad we didn't.
I think
You did score.
I mean, again,
Oh, got it. Because what I wrote down was, thank goodness for Ashley Young, Sam Graham circa 2011.
Yeah.
And I believe the announcer even said, roll back the years for that strike.
Yes, definitely.
Because that we haven't seen the likes of that for a long time.
Bad set piece defending by Villa on the free kick. Although Gibbs White, it was a perfect ball right to Dennis, and Emmanuel Dennis is going to put that fucking ball in the back of the net. So
my favorite quote from the announcers. I liken Villa to a tightrope walker, always on the verge of hanging on or falling off.
yeah,
That's a good one.
I think Stevie
Not
G
bad.
needs to start Ings for a few and just have Watkins get out of his own
Get
fucking
out the
head.
limelight. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
He wants it. He's so hungry, and he's making attacks for it. And if he wasn't offsides, he would have had one. But he's in the right place at the right time. He's just not able.
This is my
finish.
point about trying too hard.
Yeah.
Right. You start to try too hard, you start to make such just huge mistakes that it hurts you.
If he played at the Brazzers Stadium, they'd say he'd have blue feet. He just can't finish, Mel.
Sure money.
This is a segment where we tell you our bets to better inform you about your bets because we're so smart. I'm down $800. I lost again. How about you?
I hit.
Fuck you. Damn it.
Oh, I lost my fucking paper too. There it is.
Sweet.
I hit my parlay, and I'm down.
Shut up. I got this shit. I hit my parlay. And I am down a mere $68.
Big Sam's Lock of the Week.
28.57149% of
This
the
number's
time,
getting uncomfortably high for me.
which is just a fraction better than 27.9% of the time. I'd like to make that noted. It works 100% of the time, Mr. Graham. I'm going to take both the top teams in a parlay. Nice and simple.
Oh, look at you.
Get myself on the other side. I am taking Arsenal to beat Leeds, City to beat Liverpool
For
at
plus $66?
at plus 185.
Fucking dickhead.
Plus 185. Oh, it's okay when it's gamesmanship when you do it, but when I do it, I'm a fucking asshole.
Yeah, just like when we played at Soccer Dome. When
Yeah.
they did it to us, dickheads. When we did it, oh, guys, what's the problem?
Just a game,
Yeah,
game,
what are you
right? Just a
worried about?
game. All right. Well, Mr. Pat's not checking in with us tonight, right? He's got a long day ahead of him tomorrow.
Yeah, he's already gone to bed, but he sent in an email.
I have it right here. Mr. Pat.
And now, it's time for our degenerate gambling friend Pat's Pick of the Week.
Says, well, winner, chicky dinner. I hit my bet, so I'm now only down $20. So he's actually winning right now. So this week, I'm going to take a draw in the Tottenham-Everton game for $50. That pays $165. And then separately, a 2-game parlay. Arsenal over Leeds and Manchester City over Liverpool. And $100, that will pay $195.
Oh, he's got 195. I got 185.
I don't know what site he's using. I'm exhausted, so wrapping it up and headed to bed. Talk next week for some midweek action. By the way, I love fall and beer and all those things too. Just let Graham know. He didn't say that. I made that up.
Oh man. Timmy was commenting. He put out a tweet about him, just like I love fall and all that kind of stuff. And and I just told him, I was like, it's gold. What you want to wonder? You wonder why we have Pat on this show every week to do bets. Because Pat is fucking radio gold.
Oh, yeah.
He doesn't realize he's radio gold, and that's what makes it even better.
Absolutely.
So money, and he doesn't even know it.
Exactly.
That's true. All right, so as I said, sorry, Lars, Danny Ward has the softest hands in the business because that was the first game that screwed me. That goes right in the Dort Spyrect cup of losers. As I said, I am down $800, so I am 0 for 8 on my bets.
Sam Graham sucks balls at betting. There you go. You got a sounder now.
All right. So this week, I'm choosing some weird games to bet on.
Because of course you are.
I've got Brighton to beat Brentford. I don't think they're going to right the ship this week. Now, they are at the Brentford Community Stadium,
Okay.
not the Amex, but I think Brighton are in a better place.
And Brighton knows how to play down.
I also have a quick question.
Yeah.
What were the shirts Brentford were wearing? They didn't have the Brentford badge on them. Unless they were like throwbacks and had an old badge from their history.
I didn't notice, to be honest with you.
It was like some weird, it almost looked like a cutting board outline.
Okay, yeah, I didn't really look that carefully. So.
Strange. Anyway, Wolves over Forest. I think they'll finally get off the mark here and score a goal or two because Forest are so disorganized. And United and Newcastle to draw. Both are on an uptick in form. I don't think Newcastle are better than United necessarily man for man. I don't think United have put it together enough to beat Newcastle. So that's what actually kicked up my odds. That 3-game parlay will pay me on a $100 bet plus $13.69.
Oh, you're really swinging for the fences.
When I saw that number, also had to choose it because of the 69.
Because you're like that.
Because I'm a child.
Yes, and you're a child who will also make Brazzers up Goodison Park jokes too. Because
that's happening. Did you see what I wrote on the UFC thing?
No, I did not.
I said the commentators back and forth were, oh man, look at the boobs there, and then the color guy goes, oh, yeah, the center backs really fucked that play up. That was terrible. He goes, no, I mean the waitresses in the Brazzers Lounge. I can see those from here.
All right. Well, it's going to wrap it up, boys and girls. Everybody on live, thank you so much for joining us. Sammy, any parting words? Oh, no, it's not that. Not them all over the fucking place.
We have a chicken.
Yeah, we do.
We have a chicken. I have other shit to talk about still.
I'm just fucking.
Are you having a little Taylor?
Is that what we're calling it now?
Yeah.
I went to an all inclusive for 5 days.
I'm pulling a Taylor. What can I say? I'm pulling. You know what? Yeah, I've had some drinks, and apparently I'm deciding to drive the bus off the road. So there we go. Go for it.
Oh my goodness. Well, Kitty is on a heater with another win and sits at 5-3. So this week, I gave Kitty Southampton welcoming West Ham. Now, Kitty showed me a video. See, it's a callback.
Improvising.
Video of her in the green room. Aw, at the Taylor Hawkins tribute concert.
Oh.
It was Dave Grohl playing an acoustic guitar.
Grohl.
She's
one of the most famous men on the planet.
She's on fire.
God
Can't say his
damn
name
it.
right.
I was starting to cry. Dave Grohl. Dave Grohl was playing an acoustic guitar, singing, "I'm Forever Blowing Bubbles." It was quite moving, and little did I know that Dave is an iron, and because of that, Kitty is picking West Ham to beat Southampton.
All right.
All is forgiven. I she fucked it off. So thanks, Mel, for the assist.
Do you remember the most important thing, Sammy?
What's the most important thing?
Something about gambling legally and responsibly.
And not stepping on bits.
Championship corner!
I've fallen and I can't get up. Oh no!
Hey, Sam, there's more shit to talk about.
There's more shit to talk about.
Go for it.
I debated just mourning Steve Bruce's job and not doing the segment tonight.
I will remember you.
I know we're going out on an injury time. We're going to get you the backing track for this. And you're just going to sing it. I can't wait. QPR beat Reading 2-1. Birmingham City got a 3-0 win, one of Steve Bruce's former clubs, obviously. Blackburn Rovers. What am I? I had spent 5 days with people from New York. Sorry. The old Blackburn Rovers.
You see, again, proving the importance of driving the bus.
Importancy.
Because if I don't,
that's not a word.
Because if I don't, the importance. If I don't drive the bus well, and I go to shit, you all just go. Hey. Well, fuck it. Let's go down the drain with them.
I think what he meant to say was the importance. See?
Yeah.
Like he was a 1950 detective.
See here.
Yeah, you know the importance.
Right.
See?
Yeah.
All right, Dick Tracy, calm down. I'm trying to do a segment here.
I mean, come on. Yeah, get back to the segment. Why don't you? Come on, Coppa. You're never going to get me. I got Steve Bruce here. We got sausage rolls for a fucking month. We'll be I bet
you that was a severance package. Just get me a 7,000-pound gift card to Tesco. Guaranteed. All right, Blackpool 3-1 over Watford. Burnley 1-0 over Coventry, getting back to winning ways. Millwall 2-0 over Borough. Preston North End 3-2 over Norwich. That's a little bit of a downer for them as they've been flying high of late. And West Brom and Luton was 0-0, which is the game that got him sacked. On Sunday, Huddersfield beat Hull 2-0 as well. So that brings you to our table. Sheffield United still on top, 24 points. Norwich's loss, though, takes them to second place on goal differential with 24 points. QPR are up to third on 24 points with a +6 goal differential. Sheffield United +11, by the way. Excuse me, Burnley. All teams are on 13 games played. Burnley are in fourth on just 22 points. Only 2 back, obviously, from the top 3, +8 goal differential, so better than both QPR and Norwich at the moment. So Vincent Kompany and Craig Bellamy, match made in heaven, apparently. They're fucking getting it done. So one more win and any of those 3 dropping points, and they're back into the automatic promotion places more than likely. Reading in 5th on 22 points as well, but a -3 goal differential. Swansea in 6th. Blackburn in 7th. Preston North End in 8th. Luton in 9th. And Cardiff up to 10th on 18 points. So still within a shout, just 3 points outside of a playoff place for Cardiff there. So it's remaining tight in the championship, which normally about now we start to see a little separation. And then it gets tight again because we're only, 1/360th through the season after 13 games played.
Only a mere 237,650 more games to be played.
Exactly right. So there you go. That is your championship corner, the segment that Sam forgot about.
That's going to wrap it up, boys and girls. Thank you, everybody, for joining us on the live broadcast, and this was certainly no professional broadcast on my part. Mel, is there any more comments, questions, queries from the gallery?
Something. I guess Keith Kern said, I guess Graham hasn't seen that NUFC scored 9 in 2 games.
Oh, 9 in 2 games.
That is 9 in 2 games. I'll let Kenny know.
Timmy said that Rodgers is fired. I said, really? He said no. But he's fired after every loss and just keeps showing back up to work. I don't think Leicester has figured out that they fired him already, and maybe Rodgers can just manage 2 teams since Leicester hasn't realized he's fired yet.
Heard. Very good.
Got it.
Love it. All right. Well, Mr.
You know what he did say
What?
after that? He said, I stuck with him. I had 2 offers, and I chose to stay.
It means fuck all.
Well, right. One, it's probably a lie, but one of the other...
He was linked to you guys for a little bit there when you were in the
Back in the day, yeah.
There's some rumors of him going to Villa.
One of the funny bits that one of the funny shows that we listen to on occasion made the joke today about him that if you get a result right against a team, that the manager should be given an envelope at the end of the game, right? Mm-hmm. And then you open the envelope and there's a voucher for how many games that win bought you.
Yeah.
Right. So,
you beat City 2-1 at home, and it got to, you know what? That got you 8 games.
yeah, exactly. Oh, he's here after the World Cup still. Then
lost the newly promoted Bournemouth on the first day. Yeah, that's a -4.
Exactly. And they should be made to open it up on the pitch around everybody. But the other thing they said about this particular quote from Rodgers in that post-match, like, I stuck with him through, it's like telling your partner that, 2 other attractive people tried to pick me up tonight. And I told them both no. I stayed loyal to you.
I came home to you.
I've definitely said that.
All right. Mr. Graham, any real parting words?
Yes. Roy Keane is my D-back of the week.
What did Roy do?
He attended the NFL game.
Okay.
A game. I don't know how Roy Keane feels about interviews, or about autographs, rather, but I feel like I've seen him sign autographs before. A fan walked up to him during an NFL game in London that famously there's a lot of downtime during an NFL game.
Of course.
Roy Keane shooed him off and pointed to the field and said, I'm watching a game right now. Fuck off. To a member of the public. Why? There's timeouts. There's stops between plays. If you miss one play in an NFL game, what'd you really miss?
Right.
Sign a man's shirt.
That or just don't say it's because I'm watching the game. Just say,
I don't do autographs.
I don't do autographs.
I feel like I've seen Roy Keane autographs out there though.
That's fine, but
it's just like,
or it could be very simple. I don't do public autographs.
It's
like
just,
because
once I sign yours, I got to sign everybody else's shit that walks up. Yeah,
I only do
exactly.
signings. If you want to get an autograph from me, be it a signing and pay me my money. Like whatever it is, it's Hey, I was literally face to face with Barry Bonds and said, Barry, can I get an autograph? And he's like, sorry, man, I just don't sign in public. I'm like, fair enough. Thank you, sir. And then left it at that.
But he
Oh my God, I got a million pictures of Roy Keane signing autographs in public.
There we go.
I'm watching the game.
Yeah.
At an NFL game.
Yeah.
Oh, look, here he is at another game signing autographs.
Yes.
Wouldn't even have missed half a play.
Yeah.
Sign your name on a man's shirt. Don't be a cunt.
Don't worry. There'll be 5 replays of that 1 yard run. Don't worry. You'll get to see plenty of replays. So how else do you think they space the time where there's nothing happening in the fucking game?
It's so good.
Oh, all right.
You can't beat it. I mean, it just writes itself.
Again, everybody, thanks so much for joining us. Next up is Injury Time, where we're going to preview the weekend's action. We're going to talk about the beers we've been drinking. We're going to check in on our adopted clubs, and we're going to see how we did in fantasy. Your boy finally got a fucking W and is out of the cellar. Yay. Sam, should somebody want to check in and find Injury Time, how do they go about doing it?
Very easy, actually. It's patreon.com/DUFootballShow. It's just sign up to our $5 tier. You get both of our extra shows during the week as well as extra content that we release from time to time. But that is guaranteed to be sound check and Injury Time. Sound check's our actual sound check where we catch up. Had a fun story this week from my trip to Cancun, as well as Injury Time, which Sam said is our preview show, and we go over our beers of the week that we've been drinking, side to the whiskey, as well as other stuff. So and check in with our adopted clubs and all that fun stuff.
That's what I just said.
I know. I'm just reminding listener.
So we've learned in Soundcheck that there are almost as many Svetlanas in full Mexico as there are games in the championship.
That's right.
Until next week, everybody.
Only cost you $5. Figure it out. Good night.
Born in the land of Bowie, Maryland. Bred to be a fan of fucking Everton. Punch you in the eye and drink your rye. Sam Houston.
Sam Houston?
Arsenal fans have another Sam. AKA the fucking Gooner Graham. Snub of my lord. Looks great in shorts. Sam Grammy.
Sam Graham.
Brooklyn United! Brooklyn United! Hit the fucking mute button!